This happened a few years ago when I was 35. I've always loved photography. It's my escape. I decided to go into the Appalachian Woods to capture the fall foliage. I set up my tent in a quiet spot, far from any trails. It felt peaceful at first. The air was crisp and the leaves crunched under my boots. I thought I knew what I was getting into. After a long day of shooting, I sat by the campfire on that first night. I was reviewing my photos, feeling content. The fire crackled, sending shadows dancing on the trees around me. That's when I heard a faint rustling nearby. At first, I thought it was just the wind, maybe a deer. But then, everything went silent when I turned my head. I felt uneasy. It felt like I was being watched, so I turned my gaze back to the fire quickly. The next day, I ventured deeper into the woods. I found some old objects half buried in the ground, a rusted metal toy and glass shards. They felt out of place. I couldn't shake the feeling that someone was behind me. Each time I glanced over my shoulder, I found only trees closing in around me. Around sunset, I noticed odd patterns in the leaves. They curled and twisted in ways I couldn't explain. It made my stomach turn a little. I convinced myself it was just my imagination. I shrugged it off, but kept looking back as I walked to camp. My heart raced, but the air was warm, yet I felt cold inside. That night, things got worse. Shadows flitted between the trees. At first, I thought I was imagining it again. I leaned closer, squinting into the dark, wanting to see what was there. I called out, but the only answer was silence. The forest felt heavy, almost alive. I had my camera ready, thinking it could protect me somehow. But nothing concrete appeared, just those fleeting shapes. I felt dread creep into my stomach. I kept asking myself, was I losing touch with reality? Or had I found something I wasn't supposed to? On my last night, I sat by the fire, feeling the chill in the air. Suddenly, I heard that rustle again. I turned and saw a figure standing there, staring at me. My throat was dry, and I opened my mouth to ask if they needed help, but no words came out. Then the figure vanished without a sound. My heart raced as I stumbled back. I shouted into the darkness, "Who are you?" Nothing answered. The trees surrounded me like they were watching. Then I heard a voice whisper, "Why are you here?" I swung around to find nothing. I felt trapped, like the woods were breathing around me. My pulse quickened, and I wanted to run, but I was frozen in fear. I don't think I ever truly understood what happened that night. The only thing that stuck with me is that a lingering feeling of being watched, of something lurking just beyond the trees, waiting for me to turn my back once more. When morning broke, the sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy above. I packed my things, each movement laced with unease. Even the birds seemed quiet, as if they too were aware of the tension hanging in the air. I decided to leave the woods early, but part of me was drawn to explore one last time. Curiosity outweighed my fear. I followed a deer trail, hoping it might lead me to a scenic viewpoint. But instead, I stumbled upon a clearing. In the middle of it, an ancient, gnarled tree bent toward the ground as if in mourning. I approached it cautiously. The bark was twisted strangely, with deep grooves and missing patches, almost like it had scars. Just as I was about to take a picture, something caught my eye beneath the tree. A stone, partially buried, covered in moss. As I knelt to investigate, I felt a shiver run down my spine. The stone wasn't just any rock. It was engraved with strange symbols, a language that felt foreign yet oddly familiar. I brushed off the moss to see more clearly. A sense of dread washed over me, and I could swear I heard whispers in the wind. The faint voice from last night echoed in my mind. "Why are you here?" I felt its weight press on my chest. I needed to get out of there. I turned to walk back when I saw it, a figure lurking at the edge of the clearing. It stood still, just outside the light and shadow play. Panic surged through me. I couldn't see their face, but I could feel their gaze fixed on me. I shouted, "Who are you?" My voice shook. This time, I received no reply, just the rustling of leaves, as if the very trees were rustling in annoyance. Fingers trembling, I raised my camera. I had to capture this. I snapped a shot, but the figure didn't flinch. Instead, it tilted its head slightly, as if taking measure of my fear. My heart pounded, and instinct urged me to run. I decided to flee towards the trail I had come from. With each hurried step, I heard the whispers grow louder, rising and falling like a haunting melody. I turned to look back, and the figure was gone, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was still being watched. As I made my way back to my campsite, I tripped over roots, my head spinning with confusion. I barely managed to collect my gear. Just as I finished packing the last of my things, a low growl echoed from the trees behind me. I dropped my backpack, adrenaline flooding my veins. I turned to find nothing, just the forest staring back at me, silent as a tomb. I glanced down at my camera, and a chill ran through me. It was still displaying the last photo I took. I hesitated, taking a deep breath. I clicked to view the image, and my stomach dropped. The figure was there, but this time, it was standing right behind me. Panic surged, and as I looked over my shoulder, the woods felt alive. Shadows shifted, branches creaked, and the breath of the forest seemed to deepen. I bolted, running, driven by sheer terror, unaware of where the trail even led. My only thought was escape. I had to get away from whatever was hunting me in those woods. I sprinted deeper into the forest, branches clawing at my skin like the talons of a beast. My heart raced, each thud echoing through my body. The whispers persisted, swirling around me, but I couldn't understand them. I focused solely on the sound of my breath and the crunch of leaves beneath my feet. I stumbled through the undergrowth, my shoes slipping on wet moss. Then I caught sight of something, a flash of color among the green. I skidded to a stop, almost losing my balance. It was a signpost, its paint peeling, partially obscured by vines. Before I could even read it, a gust of wind hit me, bringing with it a chill that cut deeper than any winter night. I squinted at the sign. Words faded, but a few letters were still visible. Warning, do not enter. Whoever had put it there had clearly felt something strange, something that I now understood all too well. Suddenly, I heard it, a snap of a twig. Panic surged again. I wasn't alone. I turned and ran in the opposite direction, blindly pushing through the underbrush. Every rustle, every whisper felt like a predator closing in, watching me. That's when I saw the old cabin. It was tucked away, almost hidden, like it didn't want to be found. The wooden walls were gray and warped, and the door hung ajar, creaking softly with the wind. I felt an urge to investigate, a desperate need for shelter, or maybe a horrible curiosity. I approached cautiously. My instincts screamed at me to turn back, but I was too weary to fight them. I stepped inside, slipping through the cracked door. The air was stale, holding years of dust and secrets. I scanned the room. Broken furniture lay scattered around, and remnants of a fire blackened the old stone hearth. As I moved further in, I felt it, an unseen weight pressing down, heavy and foreboding. My hands brushed against the wall. The texture felt wrong, almost alive. And then, there it was again, the growl. It was closer this time, deeper and more menacing. My pulse quickened. I hustled to a window and peered out. The forest loomed ominously, shadows shifting as though they were aware of my presence. Then I noticed it, A figure moving just out of sight, circling the cabin. My throat ran dry. I spun back around, desperate for an exit, when something caught my attention overhead. The ceiling beams, carvings, symbols similar to those on the stone I had found. The same unsettling shapes. Each one unleashed a memory of the whispers in the woods. I needed to get out. I backed away from the wall, but just as I did, I heard a soft click. The front door had swung shut on its own. Stranded inside, I turned to the window, but something caught my eye there too. The figure was at the window now, staring in, its face still hidden in shadow, but I could see its eyes, or at least I thought I could. They glimmered like two distant stars, indifferent to my fear. With nowhere to run, despair closed in. I pressed against the wall, my hands trembling as I searched for an escape. The air thickened, growing colder as that growl rumbled again, echoing through the small cabin like a warning. And then, everything went dark. I woke up with a start, confusion swarming in my thoughts. My body lay sprawled on the cabin floor. The shadows from the window were gone, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was still being watched. I forced myself to sit up, rubbing my temples to dispel the fog. The cabin was quiet now, eerily so. I glanced around, searching for signs of whatever had been there with me. The air felt heavier than before, the chill still clinging to my skin. There were no signs of the figure outside. I stood up cautiously, my legs unsteady. The door remained shut, and the window had grown still. I needed to move. I turned to the back of the cabin, where I saw a doorway leading to another room. A flicker of hope sparked within me. Maybe there was a way out through there. I stepped carefully into the next room. Dust motes floated in the dim light, and the smell of mildew hit me. The floorboards creaked beneath my weight, the sound echoing like a warning. Shelves lined the walls, cluttered with old jars and abandoned tools. I caught sight of something on one of the shelves, a small, leather-bound book. My curiosity piqued. I approached it. As I reached out, I felt a flicker of cold brush past me, a gentle tide that sent shivers down my spine. Even so, I picked up the book, dust drifting from its cover. I opened it, revealing pages filled with sketches of strange symbols and cryptic writing. I flipped through the pages, noticing how everything seemed interconnected. The same marks I saw on the cabin ceiling were drawn on the pages, accompanied by rambling notes. Words like spirits and cursed woods jumped out at me, and my heart sank deeper with each line I read. One entry caught my eye. It warned of an entity that preyed on the lost, one that could shift between the seen and the unseen. I was not just lost, I was afraid, but I had to know more. I turned to the last page, hoping for answers, but was met with a frantic scrawl mentioning a ritual, a way to banish the entity. Then the writing turned to chaos, ending abruptly with a single word: run. Before I could process this, I heard it again, the growl, low and menacing, now vibrating through the very walls. It was back. The fear thundered against my chest, urging me to flee, but I froze, paralyzed by a mix of terror and intrigue. I jumped at a sudden crash from the main room. The door rattled violently, as if something was trying to break it down. My instinct kicked in. I grabbed the book tightly and turned to escape through the back. Just as I crossed the threshold, I felt a sharp chill race over my shoulder. I turned at the last moment, eyes wide as the shadowy figure filled the doorway. Its eyes still gleamed like distant stars, now more menacing than I could have imagined. I bolted out into the woods, heart pounding, the book clutched tightly in my hands. Somehow, I had become part of this nightmare, and I had to uncover the truth to survive. But as I glanced back, I realized I had only just begun to scratch the surface of this darkness. My next move would determine everything. The trees loomed larger as I ran, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The cool air cut through my lungs, and every nerve in my body screamed to go faster. I darted between the trunks, trying to put distance between myself and whatever had chased me from the cabin. With each step, I could feel the sensation of being followed. My heart raced, and I glanced back, half expecting to see the figure pursuing me through the underbrush. But only shadows answered my frantic look. I focused ahead, dodging roots and undergrowth that threatened to trip me up. After a few minutes, I stumbled into a small clearing. The moonlight broke through the canopy above, illuminating a circle of wildflowers. It was beautiful, but nothing felt safe anymore. I needed to think, to calm the chaos spiraling in my mind. So I paused, catching my breath as I leaned against a tree. The book still felt heavy in my hands, a silent reminder of the danger close behind. It was then that I noticed something glinting in the moonlight on the ground beside the flowers. Curious despite my fear, I reached down to examine it. It was a small metal pendant shaped like a crescent moon with intricate patterns carved along its edges. I picked it up, feeling a strange warmth pulse through my fingers. A sudden rustle sent my senses into overdrive. The noise came from the direction I had just fled, a harsh sound that felt all too familiar. I turned my head, and there it was again, a low growl, closer this time. I took a step back, heart racing anew. As I scanned the clearing, a figure emerged from the shadows. Her features gaunt and hollow, stepped into the moonlight. Her eyes were wide, reflecting an otherworldly light, and her hair flowed like mist around her. She raised a hand as if to warn me, but all I could focus on was the scent of decay that hung heavy in the air. "Get away from here," she rasped, her voice a chilling whisper. "It can sense you." "Who are you?" I managed to ask, still holding the pendant tightly. "I've seen it. It shows itself before those it targets," she continued, urgency creeping into her tone. "You must not linger here. It feeds on fear." Before I could respond, the growl erupted again, even closer now. My breath quickened, and I felt my heart slam against my ribs. The woman turned, glancing back into the darkness. "You need to leave," she insisted. "The pendant will guide you, but you have to trust it." "Trust what?" I shouted, confusion engulfing me. "What do I do?" "Follow the signs," she replied cryptically, her form beginning to shimmer and fade. "And whatever you do, don't look back." Her warning hung in the air as she disappeared, and the growl transformed into a series of low, mocking laughs. A chill crept down my spine. I glanced at the pendant, feeling the warmth radiate from it. I needed to move. I turned and sprinted away from the clearing, heart pounding in my ears. The darkness pressed in, the laughter echoing behind me. I didn't know what awaited me, but I couldn't go back. I had to trust the pendant, trust that it would lead me to safety. But what if the entity was right behind me, waiting to snatch me into the shadows? I clenched the pendant tighter, hoping it would reveal more of its secrets as I plunged deeper into the woods. That's when I heard the whispers. The whispers wrapped around me like the fog that clung to the ground. They were soft at first, ghostly murmurs that danced just out of reach of comprehension. As I ran, the words grew clearer, slithering through the trees and curling into my ears. "Over here, this way." Panic clawed at my chest. Who was calling to me? Why did it feel almost inviting? I shook my head, focused on the pendant's glow, its warmth guiding me like a beacon in the darkness. The malign laughter faded, but left behind a lingering dread. I had to keep moving. I darted through the trees, each step heavy with uncertainty. The whispers shifted, fragmented phrases that echoed from the depths. Help. Find the truth. They felt as if they were pulling me deeper into the woods, deeper into the unknown. Then I spotted it, a faint flicker of light through the trees. Hope surged within me. Maybe it was a way out, maybe someone who could help. I pushed forward, dodging branches that seemed to reach for me. But as I drew closer, the light began to flicker more. Erratically, like a candle caught in a gust. A shrill laugh cut through the air, causing me to stumble. Was that the creature? I hesitated, heart pounding, but the pull of the light was too strong to resist. I needed to know. With a deep breath, I emerged into another clearing. The light came from a series of small lanterns hanging from the trees, glowing softly. They danced in the night, revealing a rickety wooden table covered in trinkets and bottles. Everything was arranged like an altar in the forest. I scanned the area, feeling both drawn to and repulsed by the scene. Old bones lay scattered at the base of the table, a testament to something dark and ancient. My stomach churned. This place felt wrong. And then I saw her. The gaunt woman from before, her presence materializing from the shadows. She was different now, dressed in tattered clothing, adorned with the same crescent moon symbol as the pendant. "You came?" she said, her voice a ghostly echo. "Where am I?" I demanded, gripping the pendant as if it would shield me from whatever came next. "This is the crossroads," she replied, not answering my question. "You must choose. The pendant can take you to safety, but it demands a price. You have to confront your fear." My breath caught in my throat. "What fear?" I asked, but deep down I knew. The darkness that had been chasing me? What if it was a part of me? The whispers grew louder, swirling around me like a storm. I felt the enormity of my past mistakes, the regrets I tried to bury. "It's not just me, is it?" I whispered, a realization washing over me. The entity fed not just on fear, but on the shadows of unresolved pain. One step back felt like a retreat, like giving in. But standing still felt even worse. I glanced behind me, the path I'd just taken dissolving into blackness. It felt like a trap, luring me to stay frozen in fear. "That's your choice," she said, glancing toward the lanterns. "Embrace it, or let it consume you." The growl returned, this time not from the woods, but from within. I tightened my grip on the pendant, feeling its warmth flicker with urgency. "Make your decision," she urged, her presence growing unstable. "The price waits for no one." Suddenly, everything went dark. The light of the lanterns vanished, plunging me into a void where only the whispers remained. My heart raced as I realized I had to find out what waited beyond fear. I stood in darkness, engulfed by the void. The whispers pulsed around me, melding into an indistinct hum like distant thunder. I wanted to scream, to fight against the suffocating silence, but I was paralyzed, consumed by uncertainty both outside and within. Then, a soft glow ignited, breaking through the dark. It flickered like a stubborn flame, revealing a path. My instinct screamed at me to turn away, but the pull was. I stepped forward, the ground beneath me feeling solid once more. As I walked, detail sharpened with every step. Shadows flitted by, shapes dancing at the periphery of my vision. I stopped. One of those shadows paused along the path. It was a small figure, crouched low. I squinted, my heart racing with each cautious advance. "Are you lost?" It was a child's voice, small and fragile. I froze. "What are you doing here?" My voice wavered as I glanced around, half expecting something sinister to lurch from the blackness. "I'm waiting for the others." The child swayed a little, as if caught between two worlds. The outline was faint, almost shimmering. "They promise me games." Others? I asked. Who are you waiting for? But the child just looked at me, eyes wide and full of secrets. They have fun in the shadows. I want to join. The unease turned into nausea. I took a small step back. You shouldn't be here. It's dangerous. At that, the child's expression darkened. You're scared. You don't understand. An ache of despair twisted in my chest. This child, the innocence of them mingled with the darkness I felt surrounding us. Please, come with me. We can escape. But the shadowy form stayed put, unwavering, as if rooted to the ground. The path only leads deeper. You have to face your fear. I swallowed hard. That's what the woman said. But why? What is it that I'm afraid of? A figment of memory brushed against my thoughts, and a vague image of faces, shouting, disappointment, regret surfaced. Before I could grasp it, the child dissolved into the shadows, leaving only a whisper behind. Find the truth. A chill swept over me, almost a warning. I turned, eyes darting back to the path ahead. It was still illuminated. I had to continue. Just then, the darkness breathed around me. A rustle pierced the quiet, more substantial than before. Something was watching. Paranoia surged. I could feel its eyes, unseen, yet watching with unyielding intensity. Without thinking, I surged forward, heart hammering against my ribs. The path narrowed, and the whispers crescendoed into a haunting wail. Suddenly, I reached a clearing, and the air crackled with tension. That's when I saw it, a figure cloaked in shadow, standing before a massive tree that twisted grotesquely, its bark a shifting tapestry of sorrow. The figure turned slowly, and every instinct screamed for me to flee. But it took a step closer instead. I could see glints of something reflective in its eyes. Hunger? Anger? It raised a hand, and I felt my heart drop. Who are you? I managed, feeling the weight of my fear settle in my stomach. I am what you try to escape, it spoke, and now we will meet at last. In that moment, I realized escaping wasn't an option. I had to face whatever it was, whatever lay in the depths of my heart, or succumb to the shadow's embrace. The figure lingered, its presence heavy in the air. I could almost hear my pulse roaring in my ears, drowning out the whispers swirling around us. I took a shaky breath, trying to summon courage that felt evaporated, like mist in morning light. What do you want from me? My voice trembled as I clung to the last vestiges of defiance. The shadow shifted, morphing slightly as if considering my question. You fear the truth, it replied, voice smooth and soft, yet tinged with an unsettling sharpness. Let it unravel. Only then will you be free. I searched its face for something, maybe compassion or understanding, but all I found was darkness, swirling depths where features would have been. I wanted to turn and run. I didn't want to face the truth, not here, not now. But before I could react, the ground trembled beneath me. Roots from the twisted tree burst forth, massive and writhing. I stumbled back, tripping over a rock. The panic surged again as the roots lurched toward me, eager, clutching. "Stop!" I yelled, pushing myself to my feet. "I don't want any part of this." The figure watched, its expression unmoved. "You do not choose," it said. "The darkness does. Embrace it." As the roots snaked closer, I felt the coldness envelop my ankles. In a desperate attempt, I tore myself away from their grasp and sprinted along the path behind me. With every step, the whispers grew louder, clawing at my sanity. Then Everything went dark. The glow of the path extinguished, the only source of light replaced by a suffocating blackness. I looked back, but the figure was gone, leaving only remnants of fear hanging in the air. I stumbled, falling to my knees, trying to calm my frantic breathing. Where had the path gone? Despair clawed at me in the silence, but a flicker of light caught my eye, a glimmer piercing through the oppressive darkness once more. It came from a small clearing further ahead. I took a lungful of air and pushed myself to rise. As I moved toward the light, dread mixed with a strange sense of hope. As I neared the glimmer, I noticed something in the center of the clearing, a small wooden box resting on the ground. Judging by the intricate carvings, it seemed ancient. My fingers itched to touch it, curiosity battling with the fear still gnawing at me. Suddenly, it struck me. What if the box contained an answer? But I hesitated. The last thing I wanted was to unleash whatever lay inside. Before I could second-guess myself, the shadows around me shifted again, swirling as if alive. A chilling laugh echoed through the air, and I staggered back, heart racing. Someone was in the clearing with me. Someone or something. I had to decide. Would I uncover the truth, or would this be a mistake? The whispers crescendoed around me, growing frantic. I moved closer to the box, drawn to it against my better judgment, unaware that the true test of my resolve about to begin. The moment I reached for the box, the air shifted. A cold breeze brushed past me, sending shivers down my spine. I hesitated, my hand hovering just above the weathered wood. What if a curse lay within? What if it was the answer I sought, or something worse? As my fingers grazed the surface, the moment felt electric. The carvings pulsed with a faint glow, illuminating my face. I pulled back, panic rising, but I couldn't shake the suspicion that the light held secrets it was eager to share. "Open it," a voice whispered from the shadows, so near it sent a jolt of fear through me. My heart thundered in my chest, and I turned to face the source, but the darkness offered no comfort, only shapes that coiled and twisted like the roots I had encountered moments ago. I can't," I stammered, grappling with the rush of fear. I wanted to flee, but the whispers in the air grew louder, almost urging me forward. "What are you?" I shouted into the void, hoping to summon an answer, any answer. "Just a guide." The voice was softer now, but heavy with something I couldn't identify, a mix of temptation and mockery. "You're standing on the brink, and you know it. Touch the box and find out what you truly desire." A chill ran through me. What I desired, I didn't even know. My mind swirled with haunting images of unsolved mysteries and forgotten truths. Each tentative breath I took seemed to weigh heavier than the last. Then, without warning, the box burst open. The lid clattered to the ground, and from it a whirlwind of silver light erupted. The glow illuminated the clearing, sending shadows fleeing from its reach. I stumbled back. This felt wrong, too wrong. The whispers crescendoed again, morphing into a cacophony of gasps and cries. Inside the box, I saw something, a small, shimmering object. I leaned closer, heart racing. It was a locket. My instinct screamed at me to step back. I was teetering on the edge of something I couldn't control. A soft, familiar voice drifted through the noise. "Open it, Sarah." It was my mother's voice, the very voice I thought I'd lost. My heart lurched. Was this a cruel trick, or something real I could grasp? Just as I reached in, darkness closed in on me. I felt an icy hand grasp my wrist. Not yet.
hissed the shadow from before. "You aren't ready for the truth." I pulled away, panic flooding my senses. The ground beneath me quaked. The locket hovered inches from my fingertips, and I strained to grasp it. But another shadow emerged, pulling me back. This time it felt more solid, more determined. With desperate resolve, I shouted over the tumult, "I want to see! I need to know!" The shadows recoiled, momentarily losing their grip, and the voice whispered again, softer now. "Then you must choose the light or the dark." With no time to
Think, I lunged. But all at once, a blinding light enveloped me. Then everything went dark again. I was pulled into the void, and before I could react, I felt myself falling, tumbling through a swirling tempest of fear and memories. The last thing I grasped before the darkness closed over me was the echo of laughter, a laugh that sent chills racing down my spine. It resonated with a promise, a threat, and a hint of the truth I'd been avoiding. What had I awakened? What was waiting for me at the end of this dark descent? I can't say how long I tumbled through the darkness, but the whispered voices evolved into something else. Echoes of my own fears, memories surfacing almost like shadows possessing a life all their own. I saw flashes, faces of friends and family, moments of regret, decisions I'd made that had led me here. Each illumination felt like a knife digging deeper, exposing the raw ache I'd buried beneath layers of distraction and denial. Then, without warning, I landed with a thud. The darkness peeled back like layers of old paint, revealing a new scene that felt eerily familiar. I stood in the heart of the woods again, but the contours were different, sharper, more defined, almost too perfect. The air was thick with the scent of decay, yet the life all around me felt heightened, electric. The enormous, gnarled tree I had encountered earlier stood before me again, but now it towered menacingly. The wind whistled through its twisted branches, the sound echoing like laughter. I instinctively looked around, wary of the shadows, but no figure emerged. The silence pressed in, almost claustrophobic, as if the world awaited my next move. Clutching the pendant, its warmth thrumming against my palm, I sensed a change. The pendant felt different, more vibrant, a reminder to confront whatever truth lingered in this darkness. I took a step forward, eyes glued to the tree, noticing fresh carvings upon its bark. Symbols mirrored those from the locket, a connection that sent ripples of unease through me. As I reached out, a voice suddenly broke the tension. "Who are you?" it whispered, the wind carrying the ethereal sound. I spun around, heart racing, but saw only shadows flickering among the trunks. I'm looking for answers," I stammered, half questioning whether speaking would help or just drive me further into madness. "They come only to those who are willing to face themselves," the voice replied, seemingly all around. "Are you willing?" What did that even mean? I felt the weight of the question sink in. Unconsciously, I found myself drawn back to the locket I had barely glimpsed. Why had it felt so significant, so heavy with emotion? As if the universe held its breath, waiting for me to act, to uncover what the symbols truly represented. I approached the tree again. Summoning courage, I pressed the pendant against its bark. A rush of memories collided with reality, sensations swirling around as the world began to spiral. Before me, the whispers took shape, entwining with visions of those faces from my past, alongside a familiar warmth that felt like home. But then there came a chill, pulling me back into the shadows. Panic surged. What was happening? Instinctively, I closed my eyes against it. But when I opened them, I was no longer alone. Figures emerged from the shadows, faces I recognized, each holding a piece of the truth I'd so desperately sought. My parents, friends, those who had cared deeply, and even faces from my past where I had felt shame and loss. They surrounded me, their expressions softening into understanding. Face the dark parts of yourself, they urged, their voices mingling into a unison that beckoned me closer. Forgive yourself. In that moment, clarity washed over me. No entity haunted me, no shadow pursued. Just the manifestations of doubt, shame, and regret I had buried for too long. The darkness was nothing but forgotten fear waiting to be faced. With trembling resolve, I took a step forward as the figures faded into gentle light. I grasped the locket tightly, asking silently for the truth it concealed. Cautiously, I opened it, revealing a small picture inside. A snapshot of moments filled with love, joy, and connection. The shadows fell away as light enveloped me, the trees transforming into vibrant shades of autumn hues. I felt weightless, the burden of the past lifting like mist in the sun. My heart swelled, and for the first time, I wasn't just running, I was choosing. But as the warmth encased me, a whisper broke through. This is not the end. And just like that, I awoke in my tent, sunlight spilling through the entrance. The air outside felt crisp and cool. I looked around, disoriented, unsure if I had dreamt it all. But as I shifted, I froze. The pendant lay beside me, glowing faintly, a reminder that while I had found some semblance of peace, the forest still held its secrets. I would never fully escape its embrace, and a lingering sense of unease settled in my chest. Maybe I had left that entity behind, or maybe it would always linger, waiting for the right moment to surface. I still thought about it sometimes, wondering if I'd truly emerged unscathed. After I returned to the city, I never went back to those woods. But every now and then, I stare at the pendant and ponder its cryptic message. I think about the truth and the shadows I faced, knowing without doubt that the journey had changed me, though I might never decipher its entirety.